Looking at the script section of our package.json file, we're given the serve command by viewcli3. Now this command calls the viewcli3 service binary, which boots a pre-configured Webpack dev server that serves our client app. But in this project, we're going to need two node-based servers. The Webpack dev server for the client, which will run on port 8080 by default, and also a server for the Express API that we're about to build. And we can put that on a different port, something like 8070. So with that in mind, let's remove the ambiguity about what the serve script does, and we're going to rename it to the more specific serve:client, like that. You'll see in the source code we have a boilerplate for our API server. In this file, server/index.js. Now in the next video we'll address what that code does. But for now, just be aware that we can run our server from the terminal with this simple command, node server. The reason that works without having to specify the file index.js is that that file is considered the default if you just provide the directory name in a node CLI command. Anyway, all the server does currently is it listens on the port 8070 and console logs a message to tell us that it's done so. It doesn't actually do anything else yet. So let's now kill the server by pressing Ctrl+C, and we're going to add that command to our package.json file so that we can easily start our server. So we'll make a new entry, and this one will be serve:server. And the command is node server, like that. So let's quickly try that to confirm that it works. We'll go npm run serve server, and we can see that it does. If we were to make a change to our server code, like modifying this console log message, let's say, then we'd have to manually restart the server for that change to take effect, which is a bit annoying. Now the Webpack dev server, as you probably know, will rebuild the client package anytime the code in this client folder changes. So let's now install and set up the node daemon package, which we can configure to watch the server folder. And that'll look for changes in any of the code in the server folder, and we'll restart our node server accordingly. So to do that, let's go ahead and go npm I for install -D, save it as dev dependency, and type node daemon. Now that that's installed, we can use it. So let's go over to our server script here, and we're going to change node to node daemon, like that. Now I'm going to run that server. So now node daemon is watching our files. And so theoretically, if I make a change to the server code, it should automatically restart. So I'll put a full stop there in that message and I'll save. Now, in my instance, it hasn't actually worked. And I believe that's because I'm using a mounted drive with Vagrant, which is a little different to using a local drive. So in my case, and yours too, if you're using Vagrant probably, you have to put this switch at the end, capital L, and that's the, unfortunately, slightly less efficient legacy watch mode. So with that done, let's just restart the server and try it again. Now if I make some changes to the index file, I'll remove that full stop and save the file, and you'll see that the server has now restarted. So now we have our two separate development servers set up. The Webpack dev server for our client app and node daemon for the server app. So how can we run them simultaneously? Now since these development servers both run as foreground tasks, to do it in the one terminal tab, we'd have to pipe one into the other like this. We go npm run serve client, npm run serve server. So this does work, but you'll see that it makes a bit of a mess of the console output. And the other disadvantage to doing it this way is that if one of the processes fails, the other would still keep running, and you might not even notice. So a better way to do this is to use the concurrently npm package. So let's kill those servers and install that. So npm I capital D concurrently. With that now installed, let's create a new package.json script, and we'll call this one serve. And we'll get this one to call concurrently. Now to use concurrently, you have to pass any commands as a series of arguments to the binary. So the arguments need to be in double quotes, so you'll need to escape those with a backslash like that. And we can actually use a wildcard, and we can go npm serve and use that asterisk as a wildcard. And that's actually going to call both of those scripts for us. So we also need to add the K switch like that. And what that does is it will kill both processes if one fails. Alright, so let's go ahead and try that. We'll come up here and then just go npm run serve. So you can see that that's worked. Now it's not perfect, but you'll see that at least the terminal output is now delineated by a header prefix to each line, which makes it easy to see what's going on. So we can see serve client down here, so that's obviously for the client, and then any line for the server, have serve server there instead. Before we finish this video, let's jump over to the browser now, and since our servers are running, we should be able to test those. So we're going to put in localhost 8080 to see if our client's working, and it is. And if we put in localhost 8070, we get an error message there, but that still confirms that our server's working, because if it wasn't working, we'd get a different kind of error.